been quiet for a minute because I've been collecting as much information as possible over the past month just so I can be accurate. And it's finally time to unleash the facts.
No one ever dogged Oscar De La Hoya the way Floyd did. Every single press conference, he treated him like he was a...
Whether he can't be a successful promoter if he's always wanting to be in the spotlight. His desire to be always noticed, always.
Oscar De La Hoya didn't hold back during a live interview with Stephen A. Smith, where he took some serious shots at Floyd Mayweather. He called Mayweather a scammer and a fraud, accusing him of turning boxing into more of a popularity contest than a showcase of real talent and heart. De La Hoya criticized Floyd for constantly flaunting his wealth and luxury lifestyle, saying it sends the wrong message. He urged Mayweather to respect the sport and stop treating it like a personal money machine. According to De La Hoya, boxing should be about building a lasting legacy, not showing off your bank account. He warned that Mayweather's obsession with fame and fortune is hurting the sport's reputation and setting a bad example for young fighters coming up. Would you like this in a more formal tone, or is this style what you had in mind?
You say you want to be a world champion. You say you want to take this sport serious. Then take it serious. What is this? This is not a popularity contest.
Oscar De La Hoya talked about how Floyd Mayweather expertly played the villain in their rivalry. He acknowledged that Floyd knew exactly how to control public perception by fully leaning into the bad guy role. Meanwhile, Oscar found himself cast as the good guy, carrying the extra pressure of not only promoting the fight but also protecting his reputation. He said Floyd thrived in the controversy and negative attention, and while it was a clever strategy, it also showed a certain level of immaturity. Instead of letting his talent speak for itself, Floyd often relied on trash talk and disrespect, which, according to Oscar, took away from the values of skill and sportsmanship the sport should stand for. Want me to combine this with the first part into one cohesive piece?
It's like that rivalry, the villain and the good guy, you know? And Floyd, this is where Floyd is smart. He knows how to play that villain guy, you know?
And you're promoting the fight.
Yeah, and I'm promoting the fight.
Yeah.
And I'm promoting the fight.
Oscar De La Hoya remembered how their fight shattered records, pulling in nearly $400 million from pay-per-view in just one night. The huge numbers prove just how much interest their rivalry sparked, and it also put a spotlight on the business side of boxing. It wasn't just about what happened in the ring, it was a major money-making event that showed how powerful promotion and star power could be in the sport. Would you like me to now blend all three parts into one smooth, clear summary?
How much money did that generate?
At the time, yeah, it was the record-setting pay-per-view. I think we generated something like close to, all in, like close to 400 million. Yeah, in one night. So
Oscar De La Hoya made it clear that, for him, boxing was never just about the money, it was about pride, passion, and building a lasting legacy. He said he stepped into the ring to prove himself and earn his place in the sport's history, not just to cash a paycheck. In contrast, he criticized Floyd Mayweather for being too focused on profit. While Oscar acknowledged Floyd's sharp business sense, he felt Mayweather was more interested in making money and promoting his brand than honoring the deeper values of the sport. To Oscar, boxing was about heart and integrity. Floyd, he said, turned it into a business first and a sport second. Would you like all four rewritten sections now merged into one polished piece?
You didn't promote that fight with Mayweather. Would you have pulled out?
probably, yeah, probably, because there was too much. Put the money aside. For me, it's about pride. For me, it was about, man, I want to have a winning chance here.
Floyd Mayweather's constant talk about his wealth continues to stir debate, especially when he takes shots at other fighters like Anthony Joshua. Critics and analysts argue that while Floyd has undeniably made a fortune from boxing, his non-stop focus on money often overshadows the true impact of his career. In a recent remark, Floyd compared his mega fight with Manny Pacquiao to one of Joshua's headline events, saying, "We didn't have to have all those hundreds of thousands to do a $74 million gate." The comment was a clear jab at the massive crowds Joshua attracts. Mayweather's claim that he's on another planet when it comes to success highlighted, once again, his drive to be seen not just as the best boxer, but also the richest. Ready for me to pull everything together into one full, flowing summary?
And, I guess, his, because, he talks about his money a lot. So he compared, his fight with Pacquiao to Anthony Joshua. And he was saying, basically, they didn't need 100,000 or 90,000 people to do X amount of dollars. You know, here I'm gonna let you listen to it. Here's what he had to say verbatim. Here's what Floyd said about Anthony Joshua.
Talk about that. I was in the Guinness Book of World Record for breaking all the records. You didn't tell them that?
Of course you have.
for generating billions in the sport of boxing, that or having the fastest sellout crowd.
But
I mean, and, you know, those guys done. You know, and I was watching a fight when I was at my Miami house. I was at my Miami home. I was watching a fight with Klitschko and the guy.
Analysts see Floyd Mayweather's constant comparisons and money talk as a sign of underlying jealousy. Despite all his achievements, they suggest he can't help but measure himself against others, especially when it comes to financial success. His recent comments, aimed at reaffirming his status as boxing's top earner, came off as defensive. Instead of letting his record and skills speak for themselves, Floyd often shifts the spotlight to his bank account, which many believe distracts from the more meaningful parts of his legacy. Some analysts think this obsession with wealth and status may come from a place of insecurity, especially when it comes to fighters like Anthony Joshua, whose popularity goes beyond just dollars and cents. Would you like the full summary with all parts combined now?
And they said that this is electrifying, sort of like the Pacquiao and Mayweather. And I said, well, we didn't have to have all those hundreds of thousands to do a $74 million game. So, and like I said before, but those guys put on a hell of a show. Like I said before, you know, I'm just on another planet. And you definitely know it. Because you've been around for years. And you see the same thing over and over and over again.
All right, so there you have it. Mayweather basically saying that, you know, he's on another planet and all this stuff, and that, you know, they didn't need 90,000 people and all this stuff. But, I mean, let's look at it like this. Jealousy, I noticed from Floyd, and it shouldn't be that way, because Floyd, you know, regardless of what I had to say about his career, I have my opinions on it. You know, he was a A-level fighter. Skills out, you know, had skills, was a really skilled fighter, A-level fighter.
Oscar de la Hoya and Floyd Mayweather's rivalry goes way back, with their blockbuster 2007 fight standing as a major milestone. That bout wasn't just a huge event, it was the moment that launched Mayweather into a new level of stardom. It was his first massive payday, bringing in $4 million, and it firmly established him as a pay-per-view superstar. Want me to include this part in the full rewritten summary as well?
We welcome into SportsCenter the former #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd, welcome back. We've missed you, Floyd.
Hey, how you doing? I'm not no former #1 pound-for-pound fighter. I'm just saying I'm the best fighter in the sport of boxing. No one has dethroned me, so how am I not pound-for-pound the best fighter in the world? You tell me.
Because you're retired?
But have I ever been beat?
But what happens is you informed Ring Magazine you were retired as welterweight champion.
I already forgot who I'm talking to. I'm talking to Brian Kenny.
But despite the massive success of their 2007 fight, Floyd Mayweather has never really given Oscar de la Hoya credit for helping make it happen. At the time, Oscar was the bigger draw, the one bringing in the audience, but Floyd's ego wouldn't allow him to acknowledge that. Over the years, Mayweather has repeatedly insisted that he was always the main attraction. In past interviews, he's fiercely defended his legacy, saying things like, "I'm the best fighter in the sport of boxing. How am I not pound for pound the best?" He's brushed off critics and dismissed former champs, even claiming that de la Hoya ain't do nothing in their fight, despite the fact that Floyd only won by a split decision. Would you like me to now stitch all these rewritten pieces into one clean, complete summary?
Top what I've done in 2 fights.
Well, one was with Oscar de la Hoya, who was the cash king.
I'm the cash cow, please.
Not compared to Oscar de la Hoya. Have you drawn as much as Oscar de la Hoya in pay-per-view, Floyd?
De la Hoya been on pay-per-view 1,000 times. It took me two times, 3.5 million homes. Me, Floyd Mayweather.
No, with Oscar de la Hoya, though.
Oscar de la Hoya didn't do nothing. Did he win?
It was a split decision loss, as a matter of fact.
Come on, man.
But it was with him.
Once again, like I said before, once again, we're talking to Brian Kenny, a man of many traits, a master of nothing.
Floyd, you waited over a year to come back. Why not wait one more weekend until Pacquiao and Hatton was over and we knew the winner?
I don't have to wait for nobody.
Oscar de la Hoya shared that after his fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr., it was actually Floyd's own father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., who told him he believed Oscar had won. Despite that, the official decision went to Mayweather Jr. by split decision. Oscar also highlighted a key detail in their contract, a rematch clause. It stated that if Floyd won, they would fight again within a year. But right after the victory, Floyd Jr. announced his retirement, just 1 day later, and stayed retired for exactly a year, conveniently sidestepping the rematch clause. To De La Hoya, this wasn't a coincidence. He saw it as a calculated move to avoid a second fight. He still believes the outcome of their bout was unjust and that Floyd Sr.'s words only confirmed what he already knew, that he had done enough to win. The sudden retirement, in his eyes, was just another strategic way for Floyd Jr. to dodge the rematch. Want me to now compile everything into one final, seamless version?
As a fighter, you know, deep down inside, you know if you win or you lose. Did you know? I felt that I won. I felt that it can go either way, especially when Mayweather's father came straight at me and he goes, Oscar, you beat my son.
Wait, he told you right after the fight?
Oh, yeah. And a funny story about that, too. We had a rematch clause in our contract. This is something I negotiated as well. If he beats me, I get a rematch. It was a 1 year clause. Guess what he did? He retired for 1 year and 1 day.
Are you joking?
No. True story. Nobody knows this, but it's in the contract.
What? So how often did you guys try to get another thing going? Was it always no, not interested? No, not interested?
Yeah, not interested. I'm retiring. I'm out of the sport. But sure enough, a day after that contract was over, he announces his unretirement.
Floyd Mayweather has a hard time accepting the idea that anyone could be better than him, whether it's in terms of boxing ability or making money in the sport. His entire brand is built on being the greatest of all time, and whenever anyone suggests that another fighter might be better, Floyd gets visibly upset. He doesn't just brush it off, he becomes defensive and often tries to discredit anyone being compared to him. Whether it's Canelo's current dominance, Manny Pacquiao's legacy, or even the rising stars of boxing, Floyd always makes sure to remind everyone that he's undefeated and unmatched. Even in retirement, he finds ways to bring attention back to himself. The idea that someone might outshine him, whether it's skill-wise or financially, seems to truly bother him. It's like he needs to be seen as the absolute top, no matter what, and he's not willing to let go of that. Would you like me to combine all these parts into one clean and final version now?
Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. In the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Floyd Mayweather has often claimed to be on a level above even Muhammad Ali, but Oscar De La Hoya doesn't agree. He's gone as far as calling Floyd the most overrated fighter in boxing history, arguing that Mayweather's record doesn't compare to the legends who truly shaped the sport. While Floyd's opponents were certainly skilled, De La Hoya points out that they didn't carry the same historical significance as the fighters Ali faced. He argues that Mayweather's career, full of carefully chosen matchups and an undefeated record, lacks the raw, all-encompassing greatness that defined the truly iconic figures in boxing. The controversy around Floyd's self-proclaimed status as one of the sport's greatest has sparked heated debates. Many feel that his career was more about avoiding risks and taking safe fights rather than challenging himself against the best in their prime. While Floyd may boast about his success, De La Hoya suggests that true greatness isn't just about numbers, it's about stepping up to the challenges that truly define a champion. I'm ready to put everything together into a single, cohesive summary now. Would you like that?
Who's an overrated boxer? Well, you don't want to get in trouble here.
I don't mind.
All right.
Overrated boxer, fighter, most overrated, Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Really?
Yes.
He's not a great boxer.
No, he is a great, but his resume is not one like Sugar Ray Leonard or one like Muhammad Ali.
Oscar De La Hoya hasn't been shy about criticizing Floyd Mayweather, especially when it comes to Floyd's focus on money over boxing legacy. Floyd has been very clear that financial success is his top priority, often bragging about his wealth and using his money-driven persona to grab attention. De La Hoya has called out Floyd for profiting off non-traditional fights, particularly those with social media influencers and YouTubers, taking advantage of their massive followings. Floyd's exhibition match against Logan Paul, for example, was more of a spectacle aimed at attracting viewers based on celebrity status rather than competitive boxing skills. While Floyd made millions from the fight, De La Hoya sees it as a departure from the essence of boxing, pointing out that Floyd's focus on money has turned the sport into a sideshow. Oscar argues that Floyd has capitalized on the fame of YouTubers and the growing pay-per-view model, but at the cost of boxing's integrity. He also took aim at Floyd's dismissal of fighters like Ryan Garcia, who Floyd dismisses as just a YouTuber. De La Hoya sees this as a double standard, pointing out that Floyd has built his empire by exploiting the very same audience he now mocks. Would you like me to now combine everything into one smooth, unified summary?
Talking about Skid Ryan Garcia. Tank got his followers from kicking. Ryan Garcia got his followers from YouTubers. There's a difference. So you want to be a YouTuber or you want to be a fighter? Tank is a fighter.
What the fuck? So Ryan Garcia's not a fighter? He's been fighting since he was 7 years old. He has 200 plus amateur fights. I don't care where his followers come from, if they come from fucking Mars. The fact is that Ryan's followers are selling this fight. And plus, don't you remember you fought YouTubers? Are you putting YouTubers down? You profited from them. I can't with you, dude. You're fucking dumbass. I can't wait. April 22nd, Ryan Garcia fucking knocking out Tank Davis.
Oscar de la Hoya has been very vocal in criticizing Floyd Mayweather, especially when it comes to his exhibition matches. De la Hoya believes that Floyd's focus on making money through these exhibitions shows a disregard for his boxing legacy. While Floyd has made it clear that financial success is his main goal, constantly flaunting his wealth and branding himself as Money Mayweather, Oscar argues that boxing should be about more than just cashing in. For him, it's about fighting for the sport's honor and leaving a lasting legacy. De la Hoya points out that Mayweather's many exhibition matches, like the one with Logan Paul, are far from real boxing contests that test a fighter's skill and heart. These matches, often more about spectacle than actual competition, have earned Floyd millions but don't add anything to his legacy as one of the all-time greats. For De La Hoya, true greatness in boxing comes from challenging the best, making real sacrifices in the ring, and fighting for something more than fame or money, something Floyd, in his view, has abandoned in favor of easy paydays and non-competitive exhibitions. Would you like to now merge all the sections into one complete, polished summary?
Okay, Floyd Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real show that left the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. Floyd, I'm rooting for you. Come on, let's turn it around.
Jeff Mayweather revealed that Floyd's animosity towards Oscar de la Hoya went well beyond simple rivalry. It was rooted in Floyd's inability to accept anyone being above him, especially when it came to money. At the time, Oscar was the undisputed cash cow of boxing, generating massive paydays and drawing huge fan interest. Floyd, however, couldn't stomach the idea of someone else taking the spotlight, especially in terms of financial power within the sport. Floyd would regularly talk down to Oscar, belittling him at press conferences and insulting him to his face. Oscar, trying to maintain his image, chose not to respond, which only allowed Floyd to continue his verbal attacks. Floyd's approach to both boxing and promotion has long drawn criticism, particularly his constant need to stay in the spotlight. Analysts argue that while Mayweather has achieved unparalleled financial success, his obsession with self-promotion has actually hindered his ability to become a truly successful promoter. His constant desire to be the center of attention, whether in or out of the ring, prevents him from stepping aside and letting other fighters shine. This egotistical mindset is evident in how he promotes fighters like Gervonta, Tank Davis and Adrian Broner. Instead of using his platform to elevate them, Floyd's own need for recognition often overshadows their potential rise. Let me know if you'd like me to wrap up everything into a final version.
Whether he can't be a successful promoter if he's always wanting to be in the spotlight. His desire to be always noticed, always the one that is at the center of attention. You know what I mean? It's like, you look at Adrian Broner, Adrian Broner, he's supposed to have beef with Tank Davis now, throwing him in there with Lomachenko, which I think he's ready for Lomachenko now.
Analysts also point out that Floyd Mayweather's actions, such as his exhibition match with Logan Paul, are more about capitalizing on money-making opportunities than advancing the sport of boxing. While these non-competitive bouts may bring in millions, they do little to enhance Floyd's boxing legacy or add credibility to his promotional efforts. His behavior, they argue, shows that Floyd is more focused on personal gain and staying in the spotlight than on nurturing the next generation of champions. This pattern, analysts claim, makes Mayweather a flawed figure in the world of promotion, prioritizing his own image over the sport's long-term health and the success of the fighters he's meant to support. Would you like me to now combine all the pieces into one seamless summary?
Who he's promoting or anything like that. It makes it worse, and it makes it more obvious because he's promoting these guys. He doesn't like the idea of anyone shining. And that's the egotistical mindset of Floyd Mayweather Jr. He's always going to be that person. You know, I mean, not too long ago when Andre Ward was still fighting, you know, and this was like a year and a half ago, you know, he had words to say about Andre Ward, you know, and Andre Ward, you know, Andre Ward's a stand-up guy. Okay. He's the type of guy that he has something to say about you. He's going to say it to you. He's not really going to go on social media and blast you. You know, he's a straightforward guy. But Floyd said, you know, derogatory things about Andre Ward. And he took offense to it, you know, and it comes back to just jealousy. You know, Floyd is one of those type of guys